You're listening to
Hot Sauce Sports with Mo Cohen, Peeze and Terry Tam.
I now know that I'm on with a spy, depending on who's the captain of this ship. That's probably a bad thing if this podcast is supposed to go viral, isn't it?
Cordero Patterson like grabbing some shanks, gentleman here. And he quote, and I quote, "I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody blank and blank in my balls, my face."
In my teenage years, I'd get back from high school, I'd smash 2 pizza pockets. Carmelo Anthony never learned you can't live life just smashing pizza pockets.
Because he lost a double bet, what I did is I cut a jalapeno in half, and I filled it with hot sauce. So he's going to have to slurp this down.
Why you give me a fucking banana, dude? I'm not eating a banana. I'll rather piss in my mouth than eat this.
Okay, so there we go. Stop stalling. Let's go.
Now, here are your hosts, Mo, Terry, and Peeze.
Welcome everyone. You are listening to and perhaps watching Hot Sauce Sports. I once again almost called it a different show. I'm your host, Peeze. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, the ever patient, ever wondering-eyed Terry Tam.
I had a good day today. I did absolutely nothing, and I tanned by the pool.
You look tanned.
Yeah, I think it's the red shirt though.
Perhaps.
Are you calling him wandering eye because you think he has a lazy eye?
No, it's the first 2 words that came to my mind.
Nice.
It could have been wandering pudding. Just wandering eyes were the first 2 words.
And that was the voice of Duke.
What's up, boys?
And the beautiful sounds of Eagle. There he is.
He's like going to see a concert if a musician didn't know how to play an instrument.
Yeah,
that's what he would sound like.
Yeah.
He's got computer Tourette's.
I wanted to start the show in the most insecure place for me.
Okay.
Because we
Your
are...
belly?
What?
Your belly?
No, that... I love being a fat guy.
Yeah, no. I mean, love.
I did.
I tolerate it.
I mean, I do. I do and did like being fat. I do like being fat. I did like being fatter because I just feel like
I like
you
the
can do whatever you want.
jolliness of being a
Yeah, like especially on Christmas, it helps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, seriously. So we're in an industry in sports media, podcasting, and so on, where people have a lot of fake bravado and a lot of terrible hidden insecurity. And I had a dream the other night. In this dream, for those who know me, know that I do consume a decent amount of sports media. One of the shows I like is the Dan Le Batard show on ESPN. They do a lot of great work.
It's all right.
So I had a dream where someone set us up to talk to the producer of that show, Michael Ryan Ruiz. I had this.
You had a dream about this.
I had dreamed that I had to go to this meeting to meet Mike Ryan, and we're going to do something with the Le Batard show. And so I was like, hey, this is awesome. This is a great opportunity. So my fear is ever having that opportunity and completely fucking it up, right?
Yeah.
Like I have this paralyzing, and I'm not afraid of a lot of things, but like if I put myself in a position where friends and colleagues get screwed over on my account, I feel awful.
Yeah.
Right?
I get it.
So I had this meeting inside of a strip mall, but the inside of the strip mall looked like a keg. Like the keg restaurant.
How the hell does that? How does
So
that happen? So why wasn't it the keg?
It wasn't.
Dreams.
It was Buffet Le Montagne
Dreams.
in Saint Leonard.
Okay.
For those local who know that spot, it is awful. It's a great place for food poisoning or to launder drug money.
Absolutely.
But so I sat down, had a drink, and he was so mean to me. Like he didn't want to be there. It was obvious that someone forced him to go. But he was being such a jerk. He called me short. He was mean. He was like, what do you think you could compete with us with podcasts? I was like, no, not at all. I just think you're really interesting people, and I think we could do something fun. And then so Dan Le Batard was also there in this dream.
Oh, nice.
And he wasn't supposed to be.
I like Dan Le
But he
Batard.
was being nice because he felt so bad. He also didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah.
But was being nice because of how much of a jerk Mike Ryan was to me in my dream. What's wrong with me?
So would you say in your dream that you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, and you let it slip?
I did.
Were your palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy?
Was there vomit on your sweater already? Mom spaghetti.
But that's not the lyrics of Gloria.
So what's wrong with you? Absolutely nothing. You're an ambitious person that cowers to important, intimidating people.
Fair.
And that might be your insecurity.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, insecurity is powerful people.
So, like, I'm never insecure about screwing something up for myself.
Yeah,
right?
I'm the same way, exactly.
Never,
yeah.
It won't bother me.
Yeah.
But, like,
if it affects somebody else.
If I make a lasagna to bring it to Terry's place and I drop it on the ground and, like, it... and like
Kevin from The
it's
Office.
ruined.
You won't feel bad about that?
I'll feel terrible.
Oh, okay.
Because like I promised Terry lasagna.
Yeah.
I can bring a pizza. It won't be the goddamn same.
They say that in your dream, if you see a toilet, don't flush it.
Okay.
That's because you're afraid of drains.
I think it's a thing. 'Cause
Duke's afraid of drains.
Okay, what's
by the
gonna
way.
happen?
let's not talk about my fear of drains. So thing is, I've had this in the past where I dream of a toilet, and then just seeing it, I wake up and I gotta piss. But it's like it's instantaneous.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
That's-
I've had
You
dreams.
probably had to piss. That's why you jumped for the toilet.
I've had dreams of my like pissing in my dream, and I piss. My pants.
You just
Yeah,
straight up just pissed the
when I was
bed.
12.
Wait, you too?
My brother and I were sharing a futon too, and he had no idea.
I did it
because I
couple
cleaned it
times.
up before you woke up.
I've dreamt like
No,
a
you-
whole day.
you
Like,
don't
I lived
just-
through a whole day, and I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Wait, you don't just clean piss off a bed just like nonchalant.
Well, it wasn't. It was a futon, and it was black.
Right.
So you couldn't see this thing.
Yeah, but you could smell it, so you didn't clean it.
No, it was probably just my peas don't smell. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, you're not hydrated enough.
No, but like, I don't know. I guess he didn't smell it. My stepmom did though. She killed it. And my
Before-
brother's nose is ginormous.
Before we got to the show, once we had already done the prep, Jacob Trouba traded for Neil Pionk.
I mean, Pionk.
Yeah.
Pionk?
Dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't,
it's Pionk, but
I can't pronounce hockey names.
I don't even know. I'm just guessing. And a 20th overall pick.
What's interesting is they traded for the pick that they initially
Yeah.
traded to Winnipeg
Yeah.
in the Hayes trade.
In the
and
Hayes trade,
hockey.
exactly.
That's what they do in hockey.
That's
Yeah,
the
hockey-
weird. Like
Change
hockey,
your mind.
hockey does hockey
Fucking
things.
change your mind
Does
sometimes,
hockey,
man.
hockey does.
Was there someone in the Rangers office like, fuck them, I want that pick back? Like we could do a 1-for-1 pick.
There's really
no.
there's somebody that might fall there in that spot specifically
Well,
that I
especially,
might want.
and we're like approaching the NHL trade, and I've heard on several occasions that after the first 8 or so picks, all picks are relatively the same, and that you don't really know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of development involved,
yeah.
and you don't like some guys might be great in the 6th round, some guys might be
Well,
trash.
like
in the 3rd round.
Lundqvist was drafted in the 7th round.
Yeah, but
and
like,
stuff like that.
how many other goaltenders were drafted?
Oh yeah, I get
rated
that.
about
Yeah,
the
no,
same
yeah,
that
for sure.
never made the NHL. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, I find about the NHL now is that in the first couple rounds, you'll always get they're evaluated properly. Like they are top 2 round potential. Then you might have a few diamonds in the rough later on. But there isn't as many first round busts like there was before. Like the 2003 draft class, the whole Getzlaff class, they're all like still in the NHL except for one guy, and it was the New York Rangers drafted him. He never played a game in the NHL.
is it like a scouting issue, or is it just too diverse?
It's too diverse. And now I think the scouting is getting so good that you're able to pinpoint people. There's a lot less busts. But it's very diverse because you can see a guy from Germany that might have a lot of hype around him and no hype around him, but he's been playing in the Swedish Elite League for 2 years. He's been playing with men. And then he'll translate over here to the NHL and he'll fucking dominate because he's been playing with men for the last 3 years.
But in the end, I think it all comes down to
Like
look,
Austin Matthews.
The proof has to be on tape. Nobody knows that, of course,
Absolutely.
more than Sebastian Vettel. And with that, the news. Terry Bear.
What do you want? Fuck.
I'll talk about the news with you.
Oh, okay.
We kind of do that every week.
This picture, man.
Where it begins is in your least favorite city,
Yes. I
the
hate
6, Toronto. I know. No one's ever called it the 6 until like 2 years ago. I literally lived there half the time. I'm telling you, nobody ever called it the 6.
It was good. It was a good series. A good game.
Did you guys see Marc Gasol having the time of his life?
Yeah, he
That
chugged a
dude-
bottle of wine.
Oh, he was smashed
I
the
love
whole
that. I
time.
love that kind
it.
of shit. Yeah, I love it.
That's
I love it.
honestly though, because of how, especially nowadays, the players are in peak physical form, and
Yeah.
the nutrition's a huge part of their diet, especially older players. Like I feel like end of season celebrations have to be wilder than they've ever been, right?
Yeah, I guess. They always have to one up each other.
That's also true. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, no one will ever live up to Ovechkin, or they'll die.
No, nobody.
But I think Toronto's giving it a go. Honestly, your thoughts first, Terry, on just in general on the game.
Oh, it was
Game
such a
6.
it was such a good game. It was back and forth. You always felt that Toronto kind of was pushing like 10 to 20% more. When Clay went down, it was rough, man. It was like I was at a bar downtown, and everybody went quiet, because it's like fuck the way he fell. You saw his knee buckle. So, but it was a good game overall. I love the way the fucking Raptors battled, and they played really good, man. And I'm super impressed with I was talking to Mo Khan about this last night with Danny Green and Kyle Lowry. To me, those two guys together played amazing. Without them, it wouldn't have happened.
So I have a question. It's not a quote, really.
This series.
I'll give you sort of I couldn't find the actual quote, but here's the gist of the quote. Who said this? I guess we should apologize for the injuries. I guess we should apologize for the schedule we played.
Yeah.
I guess we should apologize for this championship.
Masai Ujiri said that.
Nope. Steph Curry said it after they beat LeBron's Cavaliers when Kyrie got hurt and when Kevin Love got hurt and LeBron.
You shouldn't have to apologize.
No, but it's just funny that everyone who's
like the asterisk, right?
How the turntables
have turned the tables.
So but like people are saying, because KD wasn't there, there's an asterisk on Toronto's championship. No, there isn't an asterisk there. They won the fucking championship.
Correct.
And they won it fair and square. And the last 2 rounds, they won it dominantly.
And so like that leads me to Skip Bayless going off on the Raptors. He was talking about it. And what I liked is I heard Sitchis Sechera then
but you know what Skip Bayless
on
does,
ESPN Radio. He went off on Skip Bayless, which is funny because ESPN doesn't like mentioning former employees, and they don't tolerate swearing. Cicero did both in the interview, so I couldn't find that clip because ESPN buried it.
Yeah, of course they did.
The reason why I hate this whole asterisk talk is that Steph Curry needs a team full of superstars to win.
No.
But Kawhi has no superstars in his team.
Both arguments are dumb.
And then that's
both
like
arguments are dumb. Both arguments are dumb.
We have
another example.
So Steph Curry could do it without those other guys. He
but
did.
Also, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I know,
matter.
but I'm just saying,
ultimately doesn't matter.
They all play
don't
the
be
same
talking
games.
about asterisks.
They all play the same games. They're missing 1 or 2 guys here and there.
I'm just saying, I don't want to hear asterisk talk because the Raptors had just as many challenges.
Of course,
not
100%.
Having Durant and Klay Thompson
but
to just lean on.
Cicero during the parade was asked about sort of the reaction by American pundits, and here's what he had to say.
This is a crowd that I know they're expecting a lot of people, Tim. We're seeing signs that maybe there's more here that they were expecting, and it's just a little problematic from a time standpoint.
So if you're watching on Sportsnet now or the City TV mobile app, move back.
What do you think our American counterparts are saying about all of this?
Who
this
cares?
is a show up. Oh,
who cares, dude? I'm so tired of the American counterparts. This team won a championship. Fred VanVleet had everything hurt on him this year. Kawhi was limping by the end of the series. Kyle had a bad thumb. They didn't have a top 10 lottery pick. This team was not supposed to be here. I don't care if LA doesn't like it. I don't care if ESPN doesn't like it. I don't care if Boston. I don't care if New York. I don't care if Oakland doesn't like it. That city is owning it right now. And to hell with the rest. This party is in Toronto. It's in Canada. And I could care less what any American pundit, station, or team thinks about it.
So that's it. So like it's
who's been talking negative about
Wallace? The whole thing of Skip Bayless refusing to call Kawhi Leonard by name, saying number 2.
So you know what Skip Bayless does, though?
Yeah, he takes the least popular opinion.
No, he takes whatever the most trending opinion is and goes against it.
Yeah,
and it's what he does. He's known to do this. He'll look at trends. This is the most trending thing. So Toronto winning, Kawhi Leonard's the best. That's trending. I'll talk shit about that.
But also, like, and then people are talking about, Kawhi's not going to leave, so congrats, Toronto, enjoy your only championship, so on. But like, look, I got to give credit to Masai Ujiri. He put together a team with no top picks, without huge free agent acquisitions. Honestly, the talent evaluation from a draft perspective, from being able to move pieces in trades, to me has been absolutely incredible. We'll see, of course, if Kawhi stays, if Masai Ujiri stays. Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting.
You think he stays?
Sorry?
You think he stays?
He'll probably sign a 1-1. Kawhi? You're asking about Kawhi?
Yeah.
Kawhi will probably. It makes sense for him to sign a 1-1 contract where he's 1 year with the Raptors and the second year he can opt out. I feel like that would be an interesting.
No, I think he's looking for a huge payday at max from an American team, and he's still going to collect his New Balance checks.
No, but he can still sign a massive deal with the Raptors. What I'm saying is that he can sign a massive deal within a year and wait for the landscape to kind of set up next year. See what the team's kind of stars they sign.
There's no waiting with Kawhi. There's
I
nothing.
think
he's going to go to a team that wants him, and
Brian Winters is saying that that's what Brian Winters is saying.
You're crazy. You're crazy. If
most
you think
NBA players will sign.
Doesn't have a say in this.
But most NBA stars, the trend is to sign
Kevin Durant
1-year deals.
Kevin Durant did that. LeBron did that.
Get it, yeah.
They will. That's just what they're going to do because they make the most money that way.
Think about it in a way. Like, it would make a lot of sense in terms of a basketball perspective because he would be able to play next season with the same roster. Every single player. Danny Green's is gonna opt back. Paul Gasol's gonna opt back in. They can re-sign Danny Green and bring back
not
a full
It's Marc
roster.
Gasol. Marc Gasol is probably going to get released to clear cap space to bring somebody in.
Yeah, I think he knew that too.
But they could potentially sign the same.
They can. But the thing is, I think what the Raptors want to do, because the goal of that trade was to create.
He's not
clear Valanciunas' contract. Well, here you say that, but Adrian Wojnarowski has reported today. There's two options. He's looking at two things. He's looking at the Clippers. He's looking at the Raptors.
Yeah, of course.
So I think there's an equal chance,
but also those same tweets say he has a hard look in LA and it's in the Clippers.
Well, here's the thing: people are saying he wants to play in LA. He's never said that.
No, I know he's never said that.
And they're like, well, but he's from LA. How often do players? One time it's happened was LeBron going to Cleveland. He's not even from Cleveland. He's from Akron. Yeah, it's not the same place.
He might take a call from the Knicks.
You will not take a call from
the Knicks. Probably will.
That's one place he's not going.
A little cup of coffee.
You're gonna get Kevin Durant.
And Eagle, if we can get the video on this one too, that would be awesome. The one thing Masai Ujiri does not get enough credit for is the biggest acquisition. Someone to put this montage together. Here is Jeremy Lin's
I love Jeremy Lin.
Finals highlights.
I think I would buy every one of his jerseys.
Jeremy Lin, folks. See how he gets around.
Yeah, that bit sanity here.
Too. There was a time in Knicks history where we thought he was going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, what a fall.
I mean, but if you knew anything about basketball, it's very obvious he wasn't going to be.
Hey man, most of New York, man, you were chanting his name.
Look,
That's how starved we are.
And it also happened at a time where Melo was injured too. So Linsanity was supposed to be the savior until they went to Miami and D Wade and LeBron said, "We're personally going to double him," and that ended very quickly.
Right.
Congrats
to the Raptors.
Honestly, congrats to the Raptors. It's been fun. Look, neither of us are Raptors fans.
Nope.
No one in this room really is, but as Canadians, I think it's fun to have been involved in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's something cool for Canada.
I was downtown when they won, and we waited for like an hour at the bar after, my brother and I, and we kept on drinking. So by the time we started walking, the crowd started emptying out, right? Like after like an hour, and so I posted on the Hot Sauce like a video of me on St. Catherine as like people walking away. I'm like, oh, real cool Raptors fans. And then we got so much hate.
I know.
I was like, okay.
Oh, it's a Thursday in Montreal is why. We all have to work the
No, but they were there. Just at that point, they were like, okay, it's over now. Let's come back.
Let's go home. Or let's find a bar. What's the point of being outside?
Mo Khan was the worst on Twitter. He kept on coming after me, sending me videos. I'm like, I know, but when I was there wasn't. So that's all I'm saying.
But yeah, it's been a cool ride. In for an interesting ride, I think, are the Lakers now. They are doing the deals and making the moves that we thought they would make.
If the Pelicans win a championship this year, Anthony Davis should get a ring because he built this team.
Yeah, they won't win a ring this year. More likely, the Lakers are now the favorites in Vegas to win the NBA championship.
Yeah, I saw that. And Toronto's like at 8.8.
Well, because they don't know what's happening with Kawhi.
I get it, but you assume they're keeping the same roster, right?
That's the thing. So like the Clippers are 700
plus 700
plus 700 to win. Okay. So they're kind of hedging their bets there.
In that same ballpark, yeah.
Because I was thinking of putting a bet on the Clippers, thinking, well, he's not there yet.
Yeah.
But so the thing is, he gets traded for Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, 3 first-round picks, including the number 4 overall pick in the 2019 draft.
It's a great trade.
Oh, absolutely.
I think
it was a haul, massive haul.
Well, yes and no.
What's their starting lineup going to be next year, Pelicans?
I got it. I'm on it.
Lonzo.
There's for sure Drew.
Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Zion.
Brandon Ingram.
And then would be.
But also they have the 4th round pick. So if they pick Barrett to match.
The Barrett's
with,
not going to fall.
Well, will the Knicks screw it up and not pick RJ Barrett?
They probably won't. They probably won't.
Then they get Ja will probably go 2.
No, like
they're also trying.
The Knicks are already talking about trading that pick, so I don't even think they want it.
The Pelicans have been trying to trade up to get RJ Barrett. So that was reported yesterday as well.
There's so many good players that they can take out 4 also.
Imagine RJ and Zion get drafted.
Well, they kind of want to do everything to keep Zion happy because they don't want to make the mistake that they made with Anthony Davis.
And it would be great development for RJ too.
For both of them, yeah. Take a few years together, build it, just like what OKC did. With Harden and Westbrook, and then when.
But are you guys okay with potentially mortgaging the future? And I know Anthony Davis is great.
They're not mortgaging. Depends on what situation you're in. A superstar in his prime.
Of course, but of course. And what I'm saying in a sense is that they're giving up on potentially their next draft picks for the next 4 or 5 years.
Nope, not the next. So it's so the next 5 years.
There's a couple
at a minimum because the NBA you can't trade back-to-back years first round picks.
Oh, okay.
So it's 3 over the next 5 or 3 over the next 7. First of all. If it's 3 of the next 5, for the next 5 years, those won't be good draft picks. Because even just with Anthony Davis, not to mention, by the way, LeBron James is there.
Yeah.
Those will not be top 20 picks.
The fact is that this is maybe the biggest haul I've ever seen for a superstar. I think it's an actual fact that this is the most.
Because the money has to match.
In basketball or in general?
No, in basketball, this is the largest haul
ever
for a
superstar.
Gretzky
trade or Patrick Waugh trade.
No, but I'm saying specifically in basketball. And,
but in basketball, you need to make the money match first of all. So the Lakers have a lot of low salaried players they can trade, which is what they did.
Right.
The draft picks are a lot. But the draft picks don't mean as much as they do in other sports.
And I mean, we look at the other players. Okay, Brandon Ingram. There was a point in the season that he looked okay, but we don't really know
the better
what we're
version of Ingram.
Lonzo too. Lonzo, we don't know what we're getting. I mean, he's okay. He's good defensively.
I like Lonzo.
Right?
Lonzo's good
and
in
then
transition.
Josh Hart's a good system player. You can
exactly.
pop into a
He's
lineup. Like none of them are really like. I feel if I made that trade, I'd be like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to go to bed tonight thinking that I lost anyone specific.
But you're filling because you're assuming you're drafting Zion.
Right?
Yeah,
you're assuming you're drafting Zion, so you're filling the roster just to complement him. Those guys are all complementary
absolutely.
players.
Well, I think in Lonzo's going to be a better fit for
I think so too.
For them than he was in LA, just because again the ball dominance of LeBron James. With the Pelicans now, you have a guard who moves the ball, who's not looking to shoot, who's looking to distribute the ball, get the ball to a guy like Zion Williamson, get him involved in the offense early, and again, nice pieces in Ingram and Hart. Still, everyone who says this wasn't a bad trade for the Pelicans, guys, the Pelicans lost a star player in the NBA. That means you've lost your chance.
And none of those players, none of them are ever going to be as great as Anthony Davis.
Maybe Zion Williamson.
Maybe.
Just like we don't know. That's the unknown, right? The thing is, they traded a sure thing.
Yeah. For a lot of uncertainty. I mean, Brandon Ingram's still 21 years old, so who knows what he's going to be like in 3-4 years.
They got a lot of picks too out of it. Anyway, we'll see.
I
like to move both sides because Lakers are like, fuck it, we're going to go for it. And I like the Pelicans because they're like, okay, this guy's not going to stay. Let's get something good out of this. And they got a lot of complementary players with picks, and they can have a good future, a good 8-10 year run now.
And it also shows that Rich Paul can make anything happen. If Rich Paul says my player's going to the Lakers, there's nothing you can do. You know, they tried to ignore it.
The shadow commissioner is Rich Paul and LeBron James.
But what I'm also trying to bring up with this whole thing, as soon as I heard the trade, my first thought was it made me think of the Yankees when, like, who are you bidding against? Who else is trading for Anthony Davis? You don't have to give away all these pieces for Anthony Davis. But they didn't. But Rich Paul had no interest in trading him to the Celtics. You know what I mean?
Like
if a player's not going to stay with your franchise past a year, you know you really have no trade positioning in that sense.
But you don't know like once he's there, we saw that with Paul George. Once he's there in your city, it's a different. Like you have a whole year to negotiate with him. You have a whole year to make him promises. You have a whole year, like you know we just talked about Kawhi. Masai Ujiri's probably saying, "Listen, if you stay, we'll give you this. We'll give you this. We'll surround you with these pieces. This could be a dynasty, and so on. You know what I mean? So like, we don't know what's important to different players, right? So we'll get him in your organization, and that's what the Lakers
next.
Did. David Ortiz, some details coming out. Looks like it. Like we were saying in last week's show, that doesn't look like a robbery.
Yeah, that wasn't
a robbery. Definitely a hit. Duke, you did some research on this story.
I didn't see the video though.
David Ortiz.
I did.
Can you talk to us about the details of that research?
I don't have much research.
Okay, so I did some research on the story. So the media is not showing it, but if you dig a little deeper,
I saw the video.
Yeah, exactly. You'll find some stuff. No, but what the media is not going to talk about is they're not going to talk about how Big Pappy, somebody was sleeping with one of his girlfriends.
Yeah.
And this guy was like he's like a cartel guy, and that guy paid 2 kids. The kid that we saw the video released of him getting beat up is the driver, and the other guy got away. I think they caught him now. But it was an attempted assassination on David Ortiz's life, and that's why David Ortiz was flown out to Boston. They don't want him to stay in Dominican.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is,
and he's married with 2 fucking girlfriends.
So a couple things. One, he bought her a Lexus that he paid for with a check that says for the car, like the check said what it was for. She posted that David Ortiz got her that car on Instagram.
Okay.
But all of these are not the strangest part of the story. You know what it cost to get David Ortiz assassinated?
$8,000.
$8,000. That's all.
Yeah.
David Ortiz, had he known, he would have whipped out his wallet and be like, "Here's $50,000. Leave me alone."
No, not only that is that imagine how desperate those 2 kids were.
Yeah.
That had to shoot him. So. I guess these guys, it's tough for them to go back home. Might as well stay in North America.
I mean, it's a poor country and a lot
It's
of people
tough. It's tough because, and you know what though, like if this can even happen to David Ortiz, it can literally happen to anyone because the dude is a god in Dominican Republic.
Anyway, I hope he pulls through. I think they're saying he's gonna pull through. So, fucked up, man. Everybody likes Big Papi, man. Nobody's ever complained about him.
He's been
never said anything bad about him.
He's been in stable condition.
Good.
What's less stable is the Houston Rockets situation right now.
Nice segue.
James Harden, CP3, they're not playing.
I thought you were going to use the Rich Paul to Chris Paul segue.
I was going to, but then we continued talking, so I went with health to team health.
Yeah, no man's beard, I guess.
But
are we surprised that they don't like each other?
No, well, especially given the way James Harden plays. Man, can you imagine he would have stayed in OKC? Like, how did him and Westbrook have shared the ball? Like, all they do is put the ball on the floor.
Now, the way he's developed, absolutely, yeah. But I'm not surprised. Chris Paul is, he's a tough guy to play with, play against. So you can tell that he just doesn't give a fuck. And then James Harden is just.
But you say that, but
he just has Chris Paul has this attitude, just
no, he cares too much.
But the thing is,
no, but like I don't give a fuck about you.
Yes, that.
But again, but
whoever
CP3,
you are, I don't give a shit.
All season long, CP3 was trying to work with Coach D'Antoni to coach up James Harden.
Well, you saw that video that they showed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That did not go over well because James Harden was like, "Yo, whatever, you're old, you can't even beat your guy. Just watch me play."
Yeah, pretty much.
That's been the quote that's been coming out of the locker room.
We know how Chris Paul is one of the freaking best point guards in the game.
And people always knock him because of the postseason success, but in the history of the game, Chris Paul's numbers are absolutely up there with some of the greatest.
It's arguably one of the best. One of the best point guards of all time.
Yeah, I don't do rankings, whatever we famously.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff, but he's still whatever the number is, he's top whatever. Like he's one of the best point guards in the history of the game.
Absolutely.
And so it's frustrating, I'm sure, but it's interesting is this comes after a couple of weeks of Daryl Morey saying basically everyone's on the table.
Yeah.
So this is something that's been building, right? So there's something here, there's something behind this, don't you think?
I think that there's a lot of just prima donna shit. I don't think there's anything other than that CP3 tried, didn't work, get me out of here. That's it.
But given the age and given the contract, do you think the Rockets can even trade CP3?
No, he's going to stay this year. He's not going to go anywhere.
Because you're trading a max player in his 30s.
What are you giving up for him?
Obviously not as good as he was.
So if you're another team, what are you giving up for him?
You have to give up
a lot.
You have to give up the equivalent contracts and assets, right?
And the thing to consider too is that it's you're not just trading for any player. You're trading for a guy that always causes problems in the locker room, has consistent issues with injuries.
Chris Paul?
Yes, and in the playoffs he's had a pretty awful time, especially in late game performance in fourth quarters. So all of these things, it's not like you're just bringing in a superstar. You're bringing a superstar with a lot of headaches.
Terry, Eric Carlson's been re-signed with the Sharks.
Love it.
So I know
good for him.
I know he's the best defenseman in the game right now.
Probably.
Right?
Healthy,
or up there, right?
Healthy.
But that's the question.
Yeah.
He's almost more machine than human at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think long term this contract will pay off for the Sharks?
Long term, if they give him the time to recuperate, I've been saying it all year. He needs almost a full year to just recuperate from all his injuries.
Are they willing to put that kind of money, $11 million, this year?
Well, they're probably going to tell him, listen, recover. We need you healthy. We can make another run at this. He's still under 30 years old. He does play a very
he'll come back over 30. You know what I mean? Like he's on the cusp.
He's aggressive. He plays an aggressive style of D. Doesn't last long. But if he takes the time to recuperate and get all his injuries done, I think he'll be fine. I mean, I don't see an issue with this. 8 years, $92 million, whatever it is. I love it.
Joe Thornton has also committed to coming back for one more year at least.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
That's fine. Like Joe Thornton, again, it's year to year.
But they can't sign Couture, and Couture is the biggest part of their playoff.
Yeah, well, him and Timo Meyer had a great
he'll be back.
Great playoffs as well. But so we look at... So one thing I was reading today, Terry, the comparison between this contract and the Drew Doughty contract and the impact it had long-term on the franchise, this actually is a heavier contract than the Doughty contract because there's a lot more of it's guaranteed. So the end of this contract will be more difficult for them to buy out, more difficult for them to dump. Do you think it'll have a similar long-term consequence for the Sharks?
I don't think so. I think they're looking at him like you'll be with us until you're 37 years old, and by then you might have been traded to a contender or whatever. But they knew that they needed this guy in the locker room. They needed this guy on the ice wearing that Sharks uniform. So like, what's the cost? We want you here. That's it. All it showed to me is that Sharks are loyal to him, that they're not going to just throw him away because he's banged up. He would have made that money on any team, any other team, I think. I mean, I don't love the amount of money, but I understand how he deserved it and how he got it. And the guy's amazing, man. I can't say enough good words about how good he is.
Well, that's the thing. In sports, you often get paid for past success. You get paid in the present for past success.
Yeah, well, Drew Doughty, the thing about Drew Doughty was because he had won a Stanley Cup. Like, he had some success where Carlson didn't have that success. He's getting paid just because of his skill set.
Yeah.
Where Doughty was paid because he has a good skill set and he's been a winner, and he's continued to lead. And he took on a captain's role where Carlson doesn't have an A or a C on the team. So I mean, I see both sides of it. I can't compare the two different styles.
Yeah. So we just talked about a guy whose past has been great in the NHL. We're gonna cut and talk to a good friend of the show, Gio Fiore of the Tucson Roadrunners, about his potential future in the NHL when we come back.
And you can subscribe. Yeah, you can always subscribe.
They get the shows, then they choose to listen to it or
subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then follow us at Hot Sauce Sports on every social media.
No one, you can't be oversubscribed because that's not a word.
Exactly. So subscribe just the right amount of time.
Be a word. Pick animals, the Roadrunner, because he always wins.
Terrible segue.
Always wins.
What's up, G?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it. So what have you been doing this offseason? What's been going on with you?
Nothing much. Pretty much a regular off season. Just come home, relax for a week or so, and then you start doing the little things back up again.
And when do you have to report back to camp for Tucson?
Only in so I go to Phoenix Coyotes camp. It's only in September, end of September, I think.
The Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I saw you've played a game in the NHL, one game with the Anaheim Ducks before you got traded. What was that experience like?
Fun. It's the NHL. I mean, it's a big step. It's very challenging and it's obviously not easy, but a lot of people say it's hard to get there. It's even harder to stick. So pretty much says all.
Of course. Now, I want you to know, Gio, myself, Terry, the boys in the back, Duke and Eagle, we're on your bandwagon. We're your fans. You're a friend of the show now. We got your back. We know you were traded for Trevor Murphy. We know he's got 5 points in 8 games. Doesn't matter. We are team Gio Fiore. He's scrap. From henceforth, we hate Trevor Murphy. Whatever he becomes, if he becomes the best player in the league, we will hate him. We will hold signs that say he's trash. We will not have him in the show. He is garbage. Anti-Trevor Murphy podcast, the first ever anti-Trevor Murphy podcast in the history of the NHL.
You never know. Imagine there's a random ass fucking anti-Trevor Murphy podcast.
I'm starting it tomorrow.
Find out if we got if we have any competition in the area.
You want me to go talk trash?
No. I need you to find out if there's another anti-Trevor Murphy podcast.
I'll go talk trash.
And then buy the domain for IHateTrevorMurphy.com.
I'm on it, boys. I'm on it.
Gio, do you even know who Trevor Murphy is?
Hashtag it also.
Yeah, hashtag it also. Exactly.
Do you know who Trevor Murphy
yeah,
is?
Well, yeah, since Tucson was in our division, when I was in San Diego, we'd always play against them. So it's pretty much the same faces every night.
And what's it like moving from beautiful sunny San Diego to the dead heat of Tucson, Arizona?
It's nice. It's nice. I mean, it's different. It's not as it's pretty much desert, as you said. There's a couple mountains here and there, but it's dry. It's a desert, but it's beautiful. I love it. And I mean, San Diego is nice also. Wonderful city, wonderful fans, like great place to play hockey.
I've actually had to go to Scottsdale for work, and the company I went to go visit was asking, if I wanted to go to the desert, and I was like, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, cool. Just don't step on any scorpions in the desert.
Mm-hmm. But how are you supposed to? Why would you voluntarily step on a scorpion?
I don't know, but apparently that's a thing you have to be warned about.
Anywhere, when I went to Arizona a few years ago to see a buddy, and it gets so hot out there, man.
So I'll go with an experience I have from the desert out there in Arizona. Then So I'm buying time for Gio to get a story straight. I want to hear one of your crazy stories if you can, Gio, if you got any. One time when I was out, we drove from Las Vegas to Arizona in a Dodge Caravan where we proceeded to go off-roading with the Dodge Caravan because why not? On the way there, we stopped at a truck stop in the middle of the desert that had one thing on the menu, Terry. It was one thing on the menu. In the middle of the desert, clam chowder. It was green. I ate pork rinds instead for lunch.
How the fuck do you have clam chowder?
I don't know. What's been one of your strange stories from the desert?
I got a couple. I mean, nothing crazy, but when I had first got traded there, I was driving up, and I stopped at a Subway and a gas station, and they also had a barber shop in the gas station.
Yeah.
It's America.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
You know, there's more Subway franchises in North America than there is McDonald's.
I did hear that recently. Actually, yeah.
It's fucked up if you think about it. Because you see McDonald's everywhere, but Subway, they just fucking dominate the market.
Well, but Subway, they promise that you'll eat fresh. McDonald's makes no such promise. So
that's a very good point.
Yeah, Subway dominates the market, right, Terry?
Yeah, exactly. They dominate the fast food Subway. They're fucking smart, Subway. They convinced us for years that eating an entire loaf of bread for lunch is good for you.
Yeah, it's fine. Look, what you do is you eat an entire loaf of bread.
Yeah.
And then you look like that guy who was fat and ugly and now is just ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
And now is also a sexual predator.
Now I've never been ugly. I used to not be fat. Now I'm fat.
Yeah. It's because of the soy sandwiches. Body transformation. So
exactly,
they're not wrong.
Yeah,
they're not
exactly.
wrong. We were talking about before the show. We wanted to see, now that you're here, talk to you about some of the news coming out from the KUMJHL this week. Yaroslav Alexiev described some sexual assault and some hazing rituals that, were sort of like crossing the line and so on. As
we
a
had
guy
that here at McGill.
We say yeah, but there's been stories coming out of the Q specifically for years. As a guy who's played in that league and as a guy who's sort of known in the culture, how regular is that in the culture?
Yeah, I read up on that stuff also, and I mean every team is different. But when I got into the Q at 16, to be honest, it wasn't like I didn't get nothing near that. Like I got in halfway through the year, so I didn't even get
you weren't even at the
initiation done.
Party.
Yeah.
So, and even if they were to initiate me, it would only be like probably have to drink more than other guys. I mean, some like story. I don't want to say he's lying or whatnot, but
seems far-fetched.
I didn't experience that at all, and nothing close to that. That was really messed up, and I don't know what the truth is behind that story. I mean, it sounds like older school type initiations that were done like way back then. So
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you on that one.
I mean, fuck, we've had that here at McGill. McGill had a few amazing things, but like, wouldn't anybody else come out? And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm worried about the guy who put the broom on. Did you read the story? The guy put a broom on with a condom.
Yeah.
Why worry about that guy?
My question is, why did the guy think the broom needed a condom?
Yeah.
It makes it smoother.
It makes it easier to get in.
Okay. Because that's his concern, apparently.
No, but I'm worried about that guy.
And this was in 2017, 2018. Like, this is too long ago, man. That's like fucking old school hockey stuff.
Right into the
I'm not fucked up.
It is fucked up. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
What's the worst? What's the worst hazing story, or at least not a hazing story? Like, give us like a good story that you had at like initiation, or that you had to give to a rookie, or whatever the case may be. Because in sports, it's like some guys just don't give a fuck.
I've been actually kind of lucky. I always seem to have an easy way through all that hazing stuff. But they're like the new age hockey. There's not much like going on. Like like rookie parties, guys will just go out. They'll go have fun. They'll go drink. They'll like wear stupid costumes and whatnot. Like this year when at the beginning of the year in San Diego, we had even in Tucson I was there for the rookie party, thankfully, and we had the rookies had to put WWE costumes.
It's funny.
And you had to go up. I didn't put. Oh yeah, I did the WWE also. It's true. I did. I was Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I wore a pair of leggings and I wore a mask and I had no shirt on.
Fuck, where's this picture, man? How come I never saw it?
Those are classified pictures. That's why you never saw it.
Well, my question is, what is, if not for this, and this is in response to a tweet that references Giovanni Fiore. Gio, do you have any nicknames better than the one I see in this one where it says goal with several exclamation points, and then the Italian Stallion wins it in OT? So like, is that the official Gio Fiore nickname, or you got something else?
I'd say there isn't one that's stuck, but if there's one I'd like to stick, that's a pretty nice one.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay, so what do they call you in the hockey locker room? Because we know hockey players they like to complicate people's names for no fucking reason. So what are you like?
Yeah,
mine's
really pretty complicated for your average Joe. So they just call me Gio or keep it simple.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck. But it's always like your last name is Hall, so you're Halsey. It's a nickname that made it longer.
Yeah.
Let's add syllables.
It always ends with an S and a Y at the end.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's like
or an ER. You just add an ER after. Yeah.
Fiorzy.
Fiorzy. What's up, G? I assume it would have been G, but whatever.
That would make it shorter. Jeezy.
Tammers.
Tammers. I have a lot, man. I got Hammer, Tammers, Tam. Well, Terry Tam is an actual nickname. And then I got that when I was playing football.
I don't know if you know this, but Peeze actually isn't my birth name.
Oh, fuck.
Correct, yeah. That's a nickname.
Fuck. I thought you were from
Neither is Duke.
I thought you were from Liechtenstein.
Also, neither is Terry. None of us go by our real names, our birth names.
We're trying to stay away from the government.
Fair. Off the grid. The grid.
With all the cash sponsors we get in this podcast.
Maybe you shouldn't have said that. So Gio, what are your thoughts about St. Louis and their reactions to winning the cup a week ago?
I love it. It's good to hear. I mean, it's good to see. Like those are good Stanley Cup final. Like if you're a hockey fan, like you want either team to win because they both battled really fucking hard. And I mean, it's nice seeing you face to win. St. Louis, like fun team. Like they fucking worked their ass off, and they're hard workers, and they're clutch. Like they came in when it was huge timings, and it was fun. Like as a hockey fan in general, like not even a hockey player, like I had a good time watching it.
Oh, for sure, man. I watched I think 6 out of the 7 games at least. And but the thing is that no game was won by less than 2 goals. Everything was a little bit like it was always somebody else's turn to be good. You know, it's always Binnington played well, or fucking Rask played well. So it was never tight to the end, except for that 4-2 game in St. Louis in Boston for Game 5, I think it was. But other than that, it was pretty spread out, but still tight at the same time. And I love the St. Louis Blues because they're not like your cookie cutter like interviews and things like that. You know, like all. Gio, you know, I always say this, but it's hockey players, they have like kind of boring style questions, like answers. Like, you know, we're trying to get pucks on net, you know, pucks deep, grip your sticks tight, win the neutral zone. There's like the same 12 to 15 sentences all the time. So for me, St. Louis was like completely different from that. It's like they were a little bit different, and their fans were awesome.
Except for Pam.
Yeah, the fans were a big part also. And like as you're saying, Terry, like it looks like they have like an honest group, like you said, like in the media and stuff. They never said just the other. Like the regular hockey player sentences, but yeah.
And Ryan O'Reilly, man, what a fucking beast that guy is.
So one quick question here before we let you go. We know you have to go do tough guy stuff immediately after. By that I mean yoga. Speaking of tough guys, Chara played through the series.
What do you have against yoga? I love yoga.
I don't. Dude.
I love yoga.
I went for the joke and then led into Chara being tough, dude. I just did the podcast thing. It's called a segue. Maybe try one on sometime. What? So Chara played through the series with a broken jaw. That I've always said hockey players have to be the toughest because they literally play a game with with swords on their feet. Nice. And fighting is like it's like regimented into the game. Is that sort of the toughest injury you've seen a guy play through, or have you seen anything or played through anything quite like that?
I haven't seen or played through like anything close to that, but I'd say that's pretty fucking tough because I see it as like you have to talk on the ice, you have to do everything with your mouth. Like you're skating and passing the puck and using your brain. You don't have to like technically talk as much, but you need to have your mouth. Like the thing I think about is eating before the game. Like you need to fuel your body properly. Like you're that late into the playoffs, you're that tired. Like you need to be eating properly. You need to be putting the right stuff in your body, and you can't really do that because your jaw's broken and it's pinned shut.
You can't talk shit either. So that's the worst part. That's the worst. It's not the nutrition thing. It's not being able to talk shit. But I do want to thank you for taking a moment to talk shit with us. That was awesome. Giovanni Fiore, AHL forward. He plays with the Tucson Roadrunners. He will be with the Phoenix Coyotes sooner than later. Yes. Officially Arizona Coyotes. So I'm old, man. I make those mistakes. I still say the Hartford Whalers, okay?
They still play in Phoenix.
Yeah, they do still play Phoenix.
They play where, Scottsdale?
Whatever. Scottsdale's basically Phoenix Junior. So hopefully we'll see him up in the NHL again sooner than later. Definitely before Trevor Murphy. That guy's a fucking hack. The first ever anti-Trevor Murphy podcast. Gio, we're pulling for you, buddy. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. I think I don't use Twitter or Instagram that much. My Twitter is gfiore13, and I think my Instagram is gfiore22.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot for joining us. When we come back, we'll close out the show.
And you can subscribe. Yeah, you can always subscribe.
They get the shows, then they choose to listen to it or
subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then follow us at Hot Sauce Sports on every social media.
No one, you can't be oversubscribed because that's not a word.
Exactly. So subscribe just the right amount of time.
Be a word. So that was, we've been through the news, we've been through an interview, I had a great talk with Gio Fiore. Now we cut to rapid fire. Let's see if Duke gets it right for the first time in the history of
He just
time.
asked what he has to do in our group chat.
Hi, boys.
Hey,
how's it going?
So the first one is
Heyo.
King's new crown. LeBron gets a new hairline installed.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I actually wrote it up for him this time. That's why.
So he's been balding the last couple of years, right? So why is this news, man? Let the fucking guy live. Fuck, why are we talking about this, man?
Well, it's just like, I guess
he's not giving up on the dream. That's it.
First of all, there's two reasons he's got to do it. One is he's living in L.A. He's got to keep the hairline fresh.
Or he just goes bald.
No, he's not going. Not in L.A.
He's not going
Second,
NJ.
dude, he's on a show. He's on his own show in a barber shop. He can't be bald.
That's a very good
He
point.
can't be bald.
Barbershops do beards too, and his beard isn't going anywhere.
Being cool.
How did they actually install this? Is it super glue or what is?
No, it's
what
just
exactly?
a hair treatment.
It's
Sometimes,
like transplants.
I don't know this stuff. I'm completely clueless.
You're one of the smartest people I know, and then sometimes you're the dumbest person I know.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a hairy ass crack, they take the hair from your ass crack.
That's also not true. Brian Urlacher, famous for doing his hair.
Jason Witten.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, actually,
and Nick Wright. And Nick Wright.
Really? Nick Wright did his head?
Killer
He's
tweets,
still
bro. OJ
No,
Simpson
hey,
joins Twitter. OJ Simpson joins Twitter as a means to repair his reputation, and the results are splashing.
We got this video, Eagle. Cue it up.
Hey, Twitter world. You know, for years, people have been able to say whatever they want to say about me with no accountability. But now I get to challenge a lot of that BS and set the record straight. More importantly, I'll be able to talk about everything, especially sports, fantasy football, and even politics. But for now, let me just say to my fellow fathers out there, happy Father's Day, and God bless.
So
Well,
for a second, he was Hertz Rent-A-Car all
He's
over
such a
again.
character, man.
But within one day, he threatened a dude on Twitter with knife emojis.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For a guy who was acquitted of, but accused of murder with a knife. Yo, maybe that's a bad look.
That's fucked up, man.
I saw on Twitter, comedian Norm MacDonald actually replied to his first tweet of the video saying, "Hey, I'm on Twitter," saying, "Hey, I recognize the golf course behind you. Someone's going to find your house."
But OJ, man, fucking guy, good for him. He's back, baby. The juice.
Big baller guarantee. LeVar Ball promises that the Lakers made a terrible mistake in trading for Lonzo Ball.
One of our most famous.
Like I said,
sound just
I
for
guarantee. Like I say again, it'll be the worst move the Lakers ever did in their life, and they'll never win another championship. Guaranteed.
They're gonna regret this.
They're gonna regret it. I'm gonna have fun with it because I told y'all it was crashing down. Now it completely crashed, but at least my son got off the boat before the thing exploded. I gave him a chance. You can rewind it and go back, and I said, if you get the 3 Ball brothers, you're gonna survive this. You let them go, boy, it's gonna be a cold day in hell. Trust and believe it.
So, why are you mad?
I'm so happy.
But why is he mad that they got traded?
I have no idea. But it's
because the Lakers didn't believe in Lonzo?
Yeah.
So he's more.
It's not even that they didn't believe in him. They had the chance to get a generational player. You get a generational player.
So
I love that he says it's going to crash and burn. It's not going to. They're going to be so much better instantly.
Absolutely, 100%.
Instantly.
Even if they finish third in the
Dude,
West, they're still going to kill everybody.
LeBron, Kuzma, and Anthony Davis is a good team. If they add one more piece, it's going to be solid. Rock solid.
They don't have any max spots left. But anyway, he's fucking crazy, man. He's not.
It's
he's
amazing.
not all there.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it makes me happy to watch someone go nuts.
And now Melo declared for the draft. He's going to play in Australia for a year and then declare for next year's draft. And he says he's going to go number 1. Probably not going to happen.
Well, so which Melo is more likely to play for the Lakers?
That's a very good one. You know, if I were the Lakers, I would draft him and just never...
And trade him to the Pelicans.
No, I would draft him. No, you're doing them a favor. I would draft him and then just healthy scratch him every game. Oh, fuck off, man.
Slow clap. Carly Lloyd tells Eagle to go fuck himself with this amazing slow clap.
Yeah, okay, so I saw this. I don't have the video either. Anyway, so she kind of like, she scores a goal, Team USA chick, she scores a goal and she does like one of these. And that's worse than the actual celebration.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
so, but this is what you get, media. This is what you get for being jerks.
No.
Let them have fun.
No.
Because now you're going to get the worst out of them.
I'm Team Eagle on this one.
You're Team wrong on this one.
I'm Team Eagle on this one. Fuck you guys.
Oh, man.
I'm
Team Fun.
It's like you want to make women's soccer that much better, and then people say, hey, don't show up the other team. And it's like they're like, no, fuck you. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to disrespect the other team. You can celebrate. Jump up with your team. But like the 13th goal, the girl sliding with her leg in the air.
Best celebration of all time. It was a
shitty.
She's coming off an ACL injury. She's showing us her ACL's fine.
That's a terrible way to do it, too.
Why did she do it on the first goal?
What?
Why did she do it on her first goal? She scored 3.
Because hat-trick's more exciting.
I don't mind the chick Alex Morgan when she scored a goal. She's like 1, 2. I don't mind that.
See, people had a bigger problem with that one.
No, but she scored 5 goals herself. She's celebrating herself. That's fine. Don't show up the other team.
I don't even think any of the celebrations particularly showed up the other team personally. Until the slow clap, but they're just awesome because like you think you had a problem before, you can have a problem now.
Gary's Woody. Gary Woodland got owned by Kirk Heinrich in the NCAA basketball.
Heinrich.
And that may have forced a decision that now led the U.S. Open Championship.
So,
Jesus Christ.
Why did you put so much
Read
info?
them before, once.
Why is there 5 sentences in
So
here?
Kirk Heinrich destroyed him in the NCAA.
Okay, yeah.
Just completely destroyed him. In
basketball?
Yeah, Gary Woodland was a good NCAA basketball player.
Oh, that's good for him.
He was a good shooter, but he couldn't. He was like what they always said about him was he can't defend anything.
Kirk Heinrich, the
he
best
can't
white
defend
player of all time.
anything.
Yeah.
So because Kirk Heinrich just washed him, he decided
Didn't
I'm going
Kirk
to take
Heinrich
up golf.
go to Duke?
I don't remember.
Where did he go, Kirk Heinrich?
Duke on it. So my thing is he owes this U.S. Open Championship to Kirk Heinrich. Kirk Heinrich,
Kansas.
That's
good job kicking his ass. But the only guy getting hurt by that, Brooks Koepka came in second. So
Your
Brooks
boy.
Koepka, no longer a Kirk Heinrich fan.
Your boy.
Coactus Quactus.
Yo, you gotta watch this video. This is a guy. Okay, set it up, Duke. Set it up.
All right,
This
a
is the
bullshit
first one?
wannabe Duke impersonates. Bullshit wannabe Duke impersonator gave Kawhi a plant, and I'm jealous that I wasn't drunk enough to think about it first.
Plant guy. Plant guy. What's with the plant, man? Where'd you get that?
It's a housewarming gift for Kawhi.
Oh, I see.
He's staying.
Does he know this yet?
I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting. Have you seen him?
I haven't seen him yet. I think he's somewhere in Oakland right now, celebrating his butt off.
Well, when you see him, tell him I got a housewarming gift. Tell him I love him.
I will. What kind of plant is that?
Tell him thank you for the shot.
What kind of plant is that?
It's a plant for Kawhi. It's a Kawhi plant.
It's a Kawhi plant.
It's a Kawhi cactus.
Have a good night, man.
Coactus.
Coactus. I like it. It's a plant guy says it's a coactus. I think plant
Did we
guy.
have the one that he gave yesterday at the parade?
I think he's doing well. I think he's having a good night. Let's just put it
So
that way.
they caught him at the parade and he gave him like a little flower.
It's a new species of plant.
He's actually very funny. He's from BC, this guy.
We the forest.
Have a good night.
We the forest.
There you go. Plant
I love
guy,
this guy, but
ladies and
he's a sensation.
We need to get this guy on the show.
Oh, yeah.
This
Stop
guy.
it.
There's nobody more our speed than this guy. Yeah. So what amazed me is how much the dude looked like Duke, how much the guy acted like Duke,
Yeah.
how much the guy drank like Duke, and
No, he's a lot happier than Duke is.
Yeah.
Duke is angry.
Duke is
does think much.
the problem is Duke's not been drinking these days, and he's been stressed.
Yeah, man.
You gotta de-stress, have a drink, get quiet cactus.
You got it, bud.
Terry, man, thank you for everything.
No, we stopped Florida, man.
Oh no, we're not doing Florida Man
You weren't
tonight.
listening.
We
I
have to
wasn't
cut
paying
it short. But thank you, Terry. Thank you, Eagle. Thank you, Duke. I know we know we're doing a normal sign off, but before I do that, I do want to say we will sign off with the guy who took the most shots for St. Louis this week. You'll see what I mean in a sec. But until
And
then,
they are the champions.
you've been listening to Hot
Glory, glory.
Sauce Sports.
Gloria, Gloria. I think I got your number. Gloria.
It's the best.